this video, I'm going to break down my first ever series. This is the Maple series. Also, hi, if you're new here, my name is Jessica Whaley. I am a full-time self-published romance author. I have 5 books out currently, one under a pen name, Marlee Cross. It's my dark romance debut. I am also transitioning my small town, which is what the Maple series was, to a dark western romance. A lot going on. I don't have a lot of time to vlog, so that's what we're doing. Everything's linked down below. Everything's linked in my link tree. All the important links. Take a drink every time I say link. Let's get into these videos. I have a list full of notes and we're on video number 2. Okay, so let's discuss how I still look the same from last week's video versus this week's video. I'm making these today because my period's coming. I have a lot to do. I have a book that has to be edited by next month before it goes to my editor, and I don't have time to sit down every week to do these. They're not day in my life videos, so it's easier to sit down and video these real quick so I can edit them and then upload them to post for you to watch the next 4 weeks. So in this video, I'm going to break down my first ever series. This is the Maple series. I'm out of author copies for these 2, so I'm having to use my proof. We are going to talk about what I wish I would have done differently now that this series is done, and I'm starting another series, a whole other, nothing to do with these, but like a whole other series, and what I'm doing differently, what I learned with these. So in last week's video, I talked about how Letters to Magnolia, which was my debut novel, the first book in the series, I actually spent less than $500 to publish it. While I did save money with the other two because I did get another editor, a new editor, and that costs more than the editor that I was using for Letters to Magnolia. So the price didn't go up that much, probably $100 or so, because I did create the covers myself because I wanted them all to look the same. Things I would have done differently. I would probably have invested in a actual romance cover designer instead of doing it myself, just because I was new at this. There's things that's different on each one. They're not too totally similar, like the size of things is different, and I would have rather had like people on the cover versus just the discreet version, but I was saving money, so we had to do what we had to do. Second thing I would have done differently is write specifically to a trope or a spice, like a relationship. These books, while they are a romance, there is a main female character, main male character. I wish I would have put Logan's point of view in this book. When I was writing Letters to Magnolia, I didn't see it turning into a series. So this is just the main female character's point of view. And I wish I would have added Logan's into this. Books as a whole, like, they have tropes in them, they have spice in them, but they also have like deeper meanings as well. And I wish I would have just stuck to the character's love story versus personal issues within them that they had to overcome as well, which a lot of people liked. So maybe I did something good, and I'm just a perfectionist, and I think that I needed to do differently because I am a perfectionist. That is one thing about me, is people will tell me all the time how good these books are, and I'm like, but there's so much I wish I would have done differently, and they're like, why? I also wish that I would have not pants, because I pants the all 3 books. I did not write them out. I did not do that. I legit just wrote an order. Now that I've got a couple more books under me that are different from that, in my dark romance, I did not pants. I actually sat down and wrote out the development of the story and the plot and all that. I wish I had done that with those, because I would have something to look back on, because I do want to revise them eventually, and I don't have nothing to look back on because I just wrote. I didn't just strategically develop the story on like a piece of paper or something. I just wrote it. I also wish I would have invested into a developmental editor. While I don't think that is something that is crucial, I mean, my books, I've always been able to bring them around full circle. It would have been great to have somebody with me who could take that off my plate, because I lost my sanity last year writing all those books. I wrote all 3 of these books. I wrote and published within a year. I just think I'm too much of a perfectionist sometimes, so where I'll look at my work and I'm like, oh, I should have done this or I should have done that, and I should be thinking, girl, you wrote 3 books and published them in a year. You should be happy. So I need to give myself a little more grace. But overall, there's not much that I would change. I think I definitely have a feel for how I like to write now, what I like to write about now. So going into this new series, which is a dark Western romance, we're gonna have more of an idea of what we're doing.